Finding your first assistant job is the hardest part. I started by checking websites like... Hi there, my name is Kana. I'm 21-year-old manga artist from Japan. And just for reference, my manga looks like this, like this. Alright. I used to work with manga publishers back in Japan. And I moved to Europe a year ago to explore the manga scene here and hopefully get published too. While working on my own manga, I also work as a manga assistant. I've worked with over 10 mangaka, all while living in Ireland. And from applying for a job to actually working, everything was done completely online. In Japan, a lot of manga artists work under brutal deadlines. For example, in Weekly Shonen Jump, mangaka have to draw 19 pages a week, every single week, without missing deadlines. Crazy. Unlike in the US, where comic artists work in teams, like a writer and an artist and a colorist, in Japan, comic is almost always a solo work. I don't know why Hunter x Hunter never has a new episode anymore. Because since it's tired, okay? And because it's physically and mentally tough to do everything by themselves, many mangakas hire assistants to help them out and do side work. You might not notice, but many mangaka actually started as assistants before they get famous. Example, Oda sensei from One Piece and Kubo sensei from Bleach. They both worked for Watsuki sensei from Rurouni Kenshin. Working as assistant is a great way to learn professional skills and make some money at the same time. A manga assistant's main job usually includes shiage work, which would be translated to finishing work. That is to add screen tones, shading, black fills, that kind of work. And the other type of work could be backgrounds. This would be like drawing buildings, background people, and trees, etc, etc. Assistants who can do both work would be ideal, but there are jobs that only need one of those skills. And generally, background assistance is more in need and also get paid better. It's simply a high-level skill. As assistant, your job is to match the mangaka's art style perfectly. Some mangakas have super detailed backgrounds like Naoki Urasawa, and something like Nichijou is more casual style, so you'd have to be able to change your art style depending on the manga artist you work for. Many of the manga artists only need help for a few days a month, but it is pretty common to work with many mangakas at the same time. That's how I managed to work with more than 10 mangaka as well. Next, how I got my first assistant job. Finding your first assistant job is the hardest part. I started by checking websites like Kana, some publisher job boards, and manga artist Twitter. There are two main types of work. One of them would be tanpatsu. It's like a short-term help when mangaka needs urgent help, and their deadline would be like tomorrow. Other with long-term assistance, this is called regular. You have a shift weekly or monthly depending on the magazine your mangaka work for. There are two payment types. One of them you get paid by hour and the other you get paid by page or per task. Now I almost only take per task job unless it's a manga artist that I really want to work for, because honestly Japanese minimum wage, like, it's not amazing. Especially if you live abroad, it's not enough at all. Like, unless you really want to learn that skill. If you're new, the pay won't be great, to be honest. I have to be honest with you. At first, it's gonna be more like a learning opportunities than a real job. It is really hard. And because nobody really want to hire unexperienced assistants, or they're too busy to give people trainings, first assistant job is really hard to get. I had to send around maybe 10 emails before I get my first reply from an artist. But the key is having a strong portfolio. Leave a comment if you wanna another video about portfolio, how to make a portfolio. Let's talk about tools and technical tips stuff. So having Clip Studio is essential. 100%, you need it if you want to work assistant. I'd say now 99% of assistant work will be done remotely. So you work from home, it's really hard to find like analog assistant jobs, unless you want to work for like Naoki Urasawa. And Clip Studio has one-time purchase version and also subscription, but I highly recommend getting subscription just because it's the newest version. If mangaka you work for use some of the features that only new version has, you might not be able to open the file and like edit some layers and stuff. So yeah, if you can afford it, maybe subscribe that. Honestly, I couldn't afford it when I just started assistant work, so manga artist I worked for, she was really nice and she paid my subscription for a year. So nice. I'm starting to see a lot of assistants using iPad more and more. The problem is if your manga artists use 3D for backgrounds and stuff, the file can be really big and it might be hard to open and edit on your iPad. So please check with manga artists before start working. And that's it. It's a little story of how I became a manga assistant without living in Japan. I usually post short little videos about mangaka job every 3 days. This is my first long form videos. If this video performs well, I'd like to make more videos like this. So please give it a like, subscribe to my channel. Please do leave a comment if you have a request for future videos. And I sell manga online and also in some of the events in Europe. So please follow my Instagram here to see all the info. The link to my online shop is also in the description, so check that out. Thank you for watching. Arigatou gozaimasu. Have a good day. See you there.